Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Presently, and we're back with some Hades. I haven't been, like, playing this for quite a while, and you know what? I need to, so I can, like, get better at the game, right? Hard labor, take the fee. Extreme measures, not really a fan of that. Folks have light tools, that's fine. Let's go. Before we begin escape, let's double check what my keepsake is. Also need to level up some of these as well. Maybe I should start just randomly using one to get level ups and stuff. What do we want this time? I'm gonna take the blood vial, let's go. But yeah, how are we all doing?
Interesting.
How are we all doing? I mean, for me, not much going on. New stuff. Got a plan, like all sorts of different things, but you know what it is.
I sense that you have forged a greater bond with your instruments of destruction there, my kin. Then that is very good, and may their altered forms serve you quite well.
Attacks inflict doom, special inflicts doom. Let's do special inflicts doom, right? Yeah. Special inflicts doom, I like that. Just because the launch is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean,
Brimstones.
I'm kind of getting a little bit fed up with stuff at the moment. Like small things and stuff, which, you know, it doesn't look like they affect me or anything else. It's more just like it's small annoyances, right? Plus, like, most of the games are now playing at the moment that I'm uploading are either taking a lot longer to end up recording, or they're just more difficult in general because of the level of which I've got to with them.
I'll run you through.
You know, which reminds me of, like, the classic games. I used to play those and stuff, right? My god, I like difficult games. But, like, everyone knows what I mean when I say, like, the classics and stuff, right? Attacks inflict doom, dash leads of blade rift. Yeah, let's hit that. Take the epics, because at least I can sell them for more. But you know, like when games just don't, like, they just increase in difficulty rather than actually anything else, right? Like, I miss those days to a certain point, and also don't miss them, no? Yeah, I mean, I've got, there's some games I want to play, other games I don't really want to play, and there's a long list of differences between them all. Right. Do I go health? No, I'll go health. Because I'm an idiot that takes those damage anyway. So there's kind of like some good stuff on my list of games I would like to play at the moment. But nothing that's kind of grabbing my attention, right? Although we've got some good plans for New Year's, I've got some stuff I want to do for, like, early on next month. Getting back to hitting the gym again, which is kind of already doing world of wonders for my mental well-being, I guess. Plus there's some other things as well, which, you know... yeah, we'll take that.
More nobles, more suffering.
More money is more money. So yeah, there's quite a lot that I'm kind of working on as well at the moment, right? Mainly it's just all myself, right? Personal stuff, things, but there is some things I want to do with my video editing skills, because I have none. At least I feel like I have none. Like, yeah, I can put a video together and stuff, but it's minimal editing, even at the best of times. Yeah, let's go down. Right. Like, I don't do much to this stuff.
Son of Hades, you should eventually respawn your own offspring. I recommend maintaining sub-infinite distances with them in space and time. Even if they are most tiresome, there always seems to come a point when one wishes to be in their presence once again.
Chaos. I think it's gain life. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, more foes and gain life, get extra life is pretty good. What do you want to go for here? I guess we'll take the Zeus boon. Extra damage could be even more useful.
You and me.
But yeah, I've kind of I've got stuff I want to work on, right? And it's kind of that line in the sand that I'm going to set myself and actually work on these things, both on my actual job and also my personal life as well, which is going to be kind of nice. You know, get that feeling of accomplishment back again. Essentially, I'm in that phase where, like, you know, I'm almost about like to change hobbies. It's the point where it's like,
That's what you get.
The Lord and ruler of Olympus on the world? Why, he needs a healthy sense of humor, no, young man? There's an awful lot of spoil sports out here, can't even take a little joke. Well, I know all their mothers. Fly on all of them, I say. Let's joke away.
Zeus knows limos is hilarious. Yeah, I'll take the electric shot, why not? And it bouncing around is pretty useful. But yeah, it's a point where I feel like sometimes, like, oh yeah, you know, not to diminish, you know, people do suffer it, but like, you know, that I might have a minor form of, like, attention issues. Never been diagnosed, but never been tested, kind of thing, you know. But my brain doesn't exactly, like, stick with stuff for very long most of the time, which is very frustrating if I've got, like, tasks to complete and stuff, so. Which I guess is why that, like the channel's kind of changed, having, like, loads of different games being uploaded, because I was just playing so many different things at the time. It's like, well,
More darkness.
and I gotta make time to other things, and this is just easier to record everything, right? Both the good and the bad.
Nice try.
No, but I'm looking forward to the new year. I think there's a lot that's going to happen, what's going on. It's going to be really interesting. Do I think all of it will be good? No idea. No idea. But I've come to find it that there's so many silly stuff going all the time that it's kind of just really frustrating, right? Like, people can never just take stuff easy.
Hard to see in all that red.
You know, there's always problems, there's always some issue. Everyone has their own thing they're constantly moaning about.
Hellfish.
And we can't just, like, chill out and relax, right? We'll take the healing, actually, here.
Trespasser.
Like, I don't want to, like, dismiss anyone's problems, because, like, if they are genuine issues, they're genuine issues. But my problem is always this, like, people will always get involved with other people's issues. Whether it's, like, they think they're helping out, or it's because they want to be a part of it, or whatever, but... Oh, yeah, because it's got, like, 50 extra enemies, right?
That's quite enough.
Oh, 15 health. It's 15 health, right? Let's go to the shop then, shall we? See what's here to buy. Oh, it's not an actual shop, it's just a normal shop. I just take the health and the upgrade.
Now, here's something for you.
Thank you. My attacks can deal crits, anything can crit, or foes dislodge. I should take that. So, like, the idea of actually, like, doing more damage there. More money.
Here we go again.
That is far enough.
Actually, there was one thing I always wanted to discuss. It was the thing that kind of came up, right? And it's wording within like legal documents and stuff, or not legal documents, but essentially like rules and regulations and stuff that companies send out and stuff like that. I had an interesting one that came out at one point, which the wording specified that the words were regardless of intent. Right? As for what like the whole document and everything else said, it's mainly just about on like you know, your speech within the office environments and things like that as well, right? But I saw this and was like, hang on a minute. Regardless of intent.
Miss a couple coins. What's in the well this time?
Something about that doesn't sound right, does it? or is that just me? I don't know if I've got to get anything from the shop, but we'll try.
Charon's shop.
I guess I could buy the key, but that's pointless buying the key, right? I guess I'll move on, go for the boss. So we'll talk about that, the why I think it's annoying at the moment.
I have been longing for a fairer fight with you. Maybe that's why you signed the pact. To pity me.
I have my reasons. Pitying you isn't one of them. Although I guess you don't believe me, do you?
If it's punishment you want, how am I to say no?
Well, that was a bit somber, wasn't it? So,
Come closer.
why is regardless of intent a dangerous thing? So it's the kind of like the it's the relationship mentality of the guy should know what I'm thinking, right? Like essentially that's what it is, right? It's the idea of the fact that I as a person should be able to distinguish what is right and wrong, basically what is offensive and not offensive, to a person that may just be overhearing my conversation that they have no business overhearing. Right? And apparently I'm meant to then govern myself around the idea that someone could be hearing me and expect them to be offended by the thing that I might be saying.
That's it.
Like, I got no issue, like, if I say something that's offensive and, you know, I end up apologizing for it and being like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that that was offensive, right? I'm allowed to make that mistake once. Yeah? If I genuinely didn't know, I'm allowed to make that mistake once. Especially to each individual, right? So if I say a sexist remark by accident or not really understanding what I'm saying and it comes off the wrong way, or you know, or if I say some racist remark without realizing it, or something that may be misconstrued in a way that I wasn't meant to interpret it as, or, you know, all these different things, right? I'm allowed once where I can say, sorry, didn't mean it like that, that was a poor choice of words, I apologize. And there was always this issue at one point, and workplaces got hold of it like years ago, where you couldn't make mistakes and you weren't allowed to make mistakes. And this has now somehow crept into our own social areas as well now, where I can't make a mistake, so I'm not allowed to misgender someone, even though I have no idea what their gender actually is. More life. Yeah, why not?
Be careful, son of Hades.
You know, like if something looks like a man to me, I will call them a he until I'm either corrected or someone lets me know that what I'm saying is not the way they wish to be called. Admittedly, you know, there are limits to that, in my opinion, on the sense of like, just on kind of how you interact, right? You can be called whatever you want, but like, I've got years of training of calling a he and a she. That's not something that's going to go away just by you telling me once. So I will apologize, but it's a hard habit to break when I have literally been brought up with it. And you'll also have to understand that, like, although like most of the modern places or bigger cities have gone into more modern times, I come from a place where most of this stuff just doesn't exist yet. Not like a bad way it doesn't exist, just more like this is stuff that's so insignificant to us that we don't really care about it. So why is it a problem? Right? Like, that's the difference. Like, people can moan at me for many different things, but learned behavior is more effective than you moaning at me. You can ask my mum about that.
Limitless darkness.
But yeah, it's a hard habit to break, right? Like, once you've been doing something for so long, it's not something that's just going to go away over time. It's going to take, like, generational changes. And, you know, the idea is to not take offense to stuff.
Hey, it's the Hades kid. So what's it gonna be this time, Your Royal Majesty?
Yeah, upgrade 2 random boons, please.
Good choice.
Cool. 2 of the ones
so
I wanted
much.
to upgrade.
You can do it.
So when I say, like, not take offense, it's the idea of the fact that at one point in our lives, like, through
Verge of death, you're here.
just mannerisms and general manners, it's... If someone says something stupid, the first time around you always give the benefit of the doubt, right? It's called being a gentleman, it's called being a lady, it's basically called respect. You assume that their intention wasn't to offend you, right? It was to, you know, basically convey either viewpoint, or maybe they misinterpreted the words, maybe they didn't realize it was a topic that offended you, in which case, does that mean it's their poor communication skills, or is it yours for not communicating that, you know, you'd be offended by such a topic? And this is kind of like one of those interesting things where it's like, in my opinion, if you get offended by something where I say it and you haven't given me the opportunity to correct myself or apologize about it or stuff like that, or even just brush it off of me being an idiot, right? Because I can be an idiot. You know, you don't need to be offended by what an idiot is saying, but if your prerogative is trying to get an apology out of me for being an idiot, and I don't know you, good luck with that. That's all I'm gonna say, because like, it's not gonna make your day, and it's just not gonna make mine, and we can debate over that for ages. I will apologize in the sense of like, yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't mean it like that, but if I don't know you and you weren't privy to my conversation, good luck, is what I say at that point. Because I believe you're in the wrong more than I am. The other side of it as well is kind of like, well, like, if you're out there and your intention is to be offended by something...
Hello there, Dionysus.
Hey, Zach, got to tell you, I cannot believe that little Artemis is hanging out with you. She doesn't hang with anybody, man. But I digress. Take this.
Tax inflict hangover. I'll take that.
How about another?
Yeah, so what I mean by, like, if your general attitude is to take offense to what everything is saying, what everyone is saying, yeah, regardless of intent, that says more about you than it says about me, right? Because what that says to me is you're confrontational, you're argumentative, and you also don't listen to the people around you. Like, instantly I get that trigger where it's like, okay, yeah, this person is not someone I want to hang out with. It's like, how do you let stuff slide, right?
That's the last of them.
Like, what do you do when your friend says something stupid? Do you take offense to that as well, or do you let it go and be like, oh, nah, they didn't mean it like that? It's that whole idea, right? And sometimes, in my opinion, it's not what the intent is, it's the action after it that's always the issue, right?
Next island.
So a good example is, like, if you flip a situation between two people around, right? But nothing here to pick up, that's disappointing. And you still feel the same person as being wrong when you flip that situation around.
We'll have to catch up
That's
some other time,
discriminatory,
though, because I'm in a
that's
bit of a
the
rush.
whole words you're saying and everything else. So essentially you got favoritism and you're protecting someone that probably doesn't need to be protected. Right? So I've got a good example of this where had one of my friends, right? And they were speaking to another friend of mine as well. And, you know, an interesting kind of joke came up and everything else as well. But the thing is, like, one of my friends isn't exactly, let's just say, he's not someone that's probably as open to the idea of, like, gay relationships and stuff like that, right? It's very well known. It doesn't take them very well, but at the end of the day, like, they've been friends for, like, years and stuff, so he still supports his friend, right? That's all it is. But as far as it goes, you know, their relationship is still the straight type of relationship, and not one where they can be openly camp around each other. So instantly, the straight friend got a little bit kind of awkward about it and kind of said, "Can you please stop?" The gay friend turned around and said, kind of like, "Oh, no, come on, you know you like kind of thing," that sort of flirtatious vibe. And at which point he was like, "No, I don't swing that way," and an argument disputed. Now, who was in the wrong here? I would love for people to kind of know, just the context of what I just said there, who was in the wrong. Because I got a lot of people that will try and say, "Oh yeah, but you know what, like, you know what the gay friend is like, right? He's overly flirtatious, especially around other people and stuff like that and things like that." And I turned and said, yes, he is to everyone else that has kind of, you know, been that way, and our relationship has developed over time to go like that, and we can take a joke and everything else as well. Thing is with this friend that they've been with kids that does come from a background and upbringing that doesn't really kind of, it's not something that he's been brought up with, it's more something that's been kind of ridiculed in the family or stuff like that. Like, there is still that sense of, like, stuff that he's not really able to kind of analyze or do it correctly. And, you know, he accepted his friend for his friend because his friend was still his friend. They, you know, they still hung out, they still played games, they still did everything else as well. But the way that it was done was, like, almost, it was like the gay friend was hitting on the straight friend, right? And that was one of the rules that my straight friend was, I don't mind what you are as long as you don't do it to me, kind of thing. Which I totally get, right? Like, I totally get that. It's putting boundaries and limitations in your friendship and your relationship with someone so they understand that there are lines that you don't really want to cross. Which is not a bad thing, right? It's a healthy thing to have those boundaries in any form of relationship and stuff. Because if you don't have them, then sometimes you don't really know where you stand with people, and that's where you kind of overstep your boundaries sometimes. But that's when communication is key, which is kind of what happened. Now, okay, the gay friend was probably maybe getting a little bit too comfortable in what was going on, right? 100%, I can kind of see that. And they could have done with maybe just a quick apology saying, "Sorry, I got a little bit too comfortable, I did forget," and stuff like that. Now, that would have probably dealt with the situation. My straight friend did go a little bit over the top with it, which I get. Did say some homophobic stuff, but again, he was strung up, he was irate. Didn't mean any of it in a nasty way. Just more of a kind of, "I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable, please leave me alone" type way. You know, he just threw everything at the wall, just hoping the fact that he get his own space back. You know, essentially defending his property. That's a poor choice of words. But yeah, so a lot of my friends were obviously talking to my straight mate and saying, like, "Look, you shouldn't have done that, that's not right, that's not fair," and everything else as well. And like, I do see it from their side, but at the same time, I'm like, everyone's like, "You know what he's like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but you know what the other guy is like as well. And the only reason you're accepting what the other person did is because of, like, he's gay. Like, that's the only reason you're doing it, right? That's the only reason you're allowing that to kind of go on." And I sort of said, if the situation was flipped the other way around, and out of nowhere, the straight friend started, you know, saying remarks to the gay friend, we'd all be supporting the gay friend. But because the gay friend started this, we're still supporting the gay friend. I was like, that's not fair. Like, regardless of my mate's views, he felt uncomfortable in that situation, and he would also pre-specified that beforehand, right? This is like ages ago when making out gay. Like, they knew the limitations of their friendship.
Juicy.
So the fact that they kind of came out and made him feel uncomfortable, it's like, yeah, but if the other guy made the other one uncomfortable, you'd still be supporting the same person, so there was an issue there, right? Like, they both can be wrong, 100%. They are both in the wrong, both for the overall action in the first place and the after effect afterwards. And I completely agreed for the reaction the straight friend had. They should have apologized and stuff, and they did, and they kind of put out that olive branch there and everything else as well. The problem was the gay friend was a little bit up themselves at that point, and I will admit they were up themselves. I will say it. They believe they did nothing wrong. And I can see why they may think that. But at the end of the day, they made someone feel uncomfortable in a situation that they were meant to feel safe in, right? And if I made a friend feel uncomfortable, I wouldn't want that, regardless of whoever they were. And I turned and said, it's like, so is so-and-so not your friend anymore? Is what you mean. I turned and said, you just disregarded his feelings completely. The one thing you complain about that everyone does to you because you're gay. And yet you're now doing it to one of your best friends you've been since childhood. You guys are just not friends. And he just looked at me and was like, I didn't see it like that. And I said, that's the problem, right? He didn't see what he was doing as wrong either. But and again, he came over, he apologized for his reaction to it, and yet you're standing here feeling like you've got some moral superiority over it. You made him feel uncomfortable. That was a problem. Obviously, it wasn't that strong worded, but at the time, that's kind of like how I felt about it. Like, if a friend of mine made me feel something uncomfortable, I would say something. Not the way that my straight friend did, but, you know, he's got his own hang-ups. Like, you know, there's only... You can't step on a dog's tail and expect it not to bite you, kind of thing, right? Is my wording on that. I will use that word, right? If you know you're going to get a certain reaction out of something because of something you do, you should expect that reaction when you do that thing wrong. And I said, like, yeah, you can be comfortable when you're in a safe space, hence why you kind of forgot it. But like, what you got to do is just apologize and think, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. You know, and move on, right? But they just wouldn't do it, and I was just like, dude, come on, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution, right? No, I just take the damage to armor because I'm having issues with that. Now, a lot of people looked at both sides. A few of my friends kind of came around to my rule of thought after a bit. Other people still are a bit indifferent on the idea of it, right? As for like my overall thoughts on the process, I still believe they're both wrong. But it's regardless of like the regardless of intent thing, like I said earlier, right?
And my keep.
It's like we all use that rule, but it only seems to ever apply to one group or the not the other, right? And the idea, like, of what used to be a normal kind of nuclear family just doesn't exist anymore, right? Sort of things. Now do that because we get one straight away and get more life. You know, and there was a lot of people out there that were brought up on that idea.
Is this how you decided to repay me? You.
Oh, there we go. We can gift this guy while we're here.
Just the relief from misery that I was looking for. A fleeting feeling, really. But I'll take a fleeting feeling over none.
That's both very dejected and very astute of you to say. Take care of yourself, will you?
Well, what's it going to be this time, stranger? The Hydrolite? Maybe the kiss of Styx?
You sure you don't need any of this stuff, sir? I really appreciate it, but I don't want to take it for granted.
Oh, come. This is Elysium. Taking such things for granted is the point. We gloried shades receive our stipend of the finest goods, so we can battle till we've had our fill. but I've already had my fill, I think.
Interesting. Increase my attack, why not?
Thanks, sir.
But yeah, I mean, it's all those kind of like subtle differences, and I've always had the idea if you flip a situation around and it's still offending the same person, there's a problem, right? There always is, and it's never about, and this is what I think when like it's regardless of intent thing, right? And it's like, even in that situation, like a person could have made the mistake and it's fine, but apparently like no one was able to give them the chance to kind of correct it. And that's the bit that I'm like, oh, really? Like, it's that point where I like my words, I'll just like grow the hell up, right? But in some cases, you gotta be like kind of diplomatic. I will admit, my straight friend overreacted. Like, they definitely did at a certain point, and some of the things they said, like, if it wasn't for the fact we were friends, I probably would have taken it the wrong way, right? Like, I could understand why he was so upset over it. Because essentially, like, to him, it felt like it felt like his girlfriend cheated on him, right? Essentially that's what it felt like to him, and I kind of reiterated it to the people, and it was like what? It was, yeah, like, you don't quite get it, but essentially you had a friend that you kind of confided in, that you trusted, then kind of betrayed that trust. I'll do that. We'll take that.
Pointy.
And like, I try to explain that to some people, and they kind of looked at me kind of like, oh, kind of like, it's not like that. I said, that's diminishing his feelings. Like, this is the whole thing that we weren't doing, right? Like genuinely, that was the whole thing that was on. It's like, it's all about how people feel and everything else as well, and yet when I say something that people kind of like, oh, it can't be like that, I'm like, but it is. That's exactly what it was to him. It's a hard thing to get your head around in that sort of sense, right? Is the fact that, well, one straight guy can have that level of relationship between a gay man as well without having the whole, you know, sexual tension thing.
I'll take it.
The other thing as well is the fact that, yeah, that sense of betrayed trust was on that sort of level for one of them. Which is why he reacted so violent for it, because he was...
More flame wheels?
He generally was really upset by it. It took him a lot to realize that himself, right? I did say that, you know, he probably shouldn't have said the things he said, and that comes from his upbringing and his parents and what they were like, and, you know, that's a generational difference. You can't get away from that. It's the first instinct, right? It takes a lot for you to stop your brain thinking like that over a certain period of time, right? Not saying it was right, just saying that kind of like, it's not easy sometimes for people to stop doing stupid stuff.
Place is crawling with these.
I mean, they're all good now, right? Like, they made up, they're back there, the relationship isn't, their friendship isn't probably as the same as it once was, because, like, no offense to either one of them, but they're different people now, right? They're not the same people, and it could be because the fact that now that the gay friend has come out, he's no longer restricted by that personality type he created to kind of isolate himself from everyone else, which is fine. The problem is, like, you've got to realize that the relationship between the both of you has changed because of that, right? Yeah, let's do that, Mrs. Aid, why not? In level up. Extra hangover. No, more doom. More doom. Like, I honestly think eventually they'll just stop being friends. Not for like a bad thing, but more for the fact they're just different people now and they don't have the same interests.
It is as the king said. You will not leave Elysium except through us.
Which is a sad thing when you really think about it, right? like, I've lost a lot of friends just through, like, us having different interests or communication, even distance as well. Like, distance has always been the big thing between me and my friends sometimes, where it's just like, we live across country, so it's sometimes hard to keep that level of communication going, right? But I am kind of, I'm kind of upset by it, right? Because they were really good friends, and it was a silly thing, right? But like, do I think it will, like stuff like that is technically bad? I think they're both idiots. Right? I do think they're both idiots, regardless of what anyone else says, right?
Whose side is she on?
But do I think like someone was more victimized than the other one? No. One person was being an idiot, the other person was being a bigger idiot, but the bigger idiot wasn't the one that started it. I'm not having a good time with this fight, to be honest. But yeah, it's like things like that there, right? And then part of me was like, okay, my friend was, you know... Then afterwards, he was acting like a 3-year-old, right? The gay friend this is. Like, it was just kind of like, mate, you offended someone, and you say the fact that no one ever apologizes to you, but you won't apologize back. Man, I am really having a hard time with this. You know what? Let's get Theseus out. I think that's the best way. The fact that he gets the gods' help in certain matchups is very frustrating for me. But yeah, like part of me is just like myself, like I look back at the situation a lot, and I think to myself, like, who was in the wrong, who wasn't in the wrong? Did I say the right thing? Did I not say the right thing? I'll overanalyze it to the rest of, you know, at the end of my life, right? Like, I do think that my friend's reaction was way too much. I do think that it should never have started in the first place. They both had an equal understanding of, like, who they both were as people. You know, just a bit lax in concentration when you're around someone made a massive mistake, which now probably has changed the aspect of their friendship, like, going forward to the future. And that's the thing, right?
Be seeing all of you next time, all right?
It's the fact that it was just a bit of a lax in concentration, and suddenly now it's like it's all blown up in their faces. What do I want to take? What do I want to take? I guess we'll take the heal, why not, and the revive. Don't need any of that.
I can do
And
this.
that's why I think, like, sometimes, like, everyone should get one.
Got it.
You know, one mistake you're allowed to make, and it's fine. You know, you either need to be reminded of that fact, or you just need to do that, or you just need to kind of be like, yeah, okay, maybe I got a little bit too comfortable, maybe I got a little bit too ahead of myself, or Maybe my ego got a little bit too big in that moment, you know? Especially when, like... There's a fish somewhere. I heard the ping. Where are you, fishy fish, fish? I do miss the run from the second one. Ah, here it is. But I mean... Ah, too early.
Drat.
Instant reflex. I mean, yeah, it's a hard thing, and... Like, I got told off for, like, taking sides on it as well, and everything else as well, and I was like, look, I'm not taking sides, I'm just saying you can't gang up on one person in the way that they were doing it, right? It's this idea of, like, we're all there trying to be like, you can't invalidate someone's feelings, right? And then they go and invalidate both sides just instantly. And I'm like... You know, just because it's okay for one side doesn't mean it's not okay for the other kind of thing, right? Like, apparently it's fine for one person to offend one person, but it's not fine for the other person to be offended back, right? But yeah, no. Dumb stuff happens all the time like that. Even I make dumb decisions and dumb mistakes, and I guess I've got friends still around, you know.
Hi.
People know me very well for being a big idiot. I'm a big idiot with sometimes a surprising level of insight. I think was the phrase one of my friends said to me. And I looked at them and I went, what do you mean by surprising level of insight? We never had that. My god, I remember this stuff when I was a kid, and I felt like everything was just so much more simpler. Like, I didn't have to worry about all this random rubbish, and I say random rubbish, but, you know, all this random stuff that I just have no interest in, or that it doesn't affect me personally, or even it does affect me, it's like, it's something that I don't need to worry about, right? That's the worst bit. It's like, some stuff does affect me in the sense of, like, overall, but, like, is it something I need to worry about? I don't know. Do I really care about it? Kind of, but it's not my priority to care about it right now, right? Oh boy, does that get into some people's skin. I've had that a few times where it's like, Jimmy, you should really care about this because it completely affects you. I'm like, yeah, I get it does, but right now it's not my priority. They look at like, what do you mean it's not your priority? I got other stuff that's more important to worry about right now. Then you list off things like, yeah, those are important, but this will change your future. And so I said, yeah, but my future will only be like 60 years more.
Maybe this way.
You know? Actually, it's 27, 3 months, 2 weeks, 4 days, and 5 hours. But, you know, just nice to prepare. But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, the impact on our world and our generation probably will be felt for like a lifetime. But for me as a person, in some cases, like, it's probably not a bigger priority than some of the stuff I'm already having to struggle with, such as, like, being able to pay rent, being able to afford to buy my own home. Like, everyone forgets, like, okay, those might be, like, small things, but those are immediate things that are affecting me right now, rather than, say, my rights as a human being elsewhere. You know, the fact that I'm able to identify as whatever I want, like, yes, they might be issues and they are social issues, but they're not issues right now that stop me from actually physically doing anything. right? Yes, they probably give me disadvantages. You know? There are things that could give me disadvantages and stuff like that, and there's probably discriminatory stuff and things like that, but there are rules in place that already protect those things. What doesn't protect me is the fact that housing prices keep going up in price, and yet somehow they're still expecting me to afford it on the same amount of money with less of an income in my increases, right? Like, we all worry about these one particular smaller social issues rather than worrying about the bigger ones that are actually causing us more harm than good right now. And it's fine, people can care about which issues are important to them, but I'm saying, like, we've got to pick our battles when we need to pick them, right? At least in my opinion. Like, you fight the battle that's more beneficial to you at the time, right? But yeah, I am a bit on the side of, like, it's all a bit too much sometimes. It's not like in a bad way, just like in a... It's plastered over every bit of social media. It's every little way. Everyone has an opinion on it, even myself as well. I'm the biggest hypocrite going, you know.
I hear you.
In the name of Hades.
Don't have a Death Defiance. Doing bonus damage, why not?
I'm back.
Let's pick this up. Ooh, lightning effects job. Cool. We'll take that. But yeah, and it's... I don't know. We'll just go money. Maybe we can get something else bought from her. You just gotta pick on the right issue sometimes, and... a good example, right? A good example. Someone on YouTube, I forget their name and what their channel thing is. Actually, bear with me, I'll just have a quick look. Okay, sorry about that. So, I've looked it up. So, there's a video done by a YouTuber named Mega Lag. Don't really see much of their stuff or anything else as well, but I came across this because I'm also one of those people that's highly skeptical of anything that is free. And if you haven't seen the video, and I think it's got, I think it's like a 3-part series going to put up eventually. At least that's what the video is. But it's a very interesting topic about how some of the free software that a lot of YouTubers at one point were promoting works. And what it does, and how both anti-consumer, as well as also other stuff as well, in regards to it. And actually, yeah, we'll take that, because that actually might be useful if foe stops to drop more health. So, what we're talking about is the web application that you can download for free, Honey. Now,
Should be the place.
what's come about is how actually Honey works and how it makes money.
That's something. Hope this can get me out of here.
Because essentially what Honey does is when you go to your checkout and it tries to apply vouchers or anything else as well, essentially by trying to find a voucher to get on there, it creates an affiliate link to say the fact that it brought you to that website for the sale, so they get a portion of the sales, right? Actually, because I've still got the thing on, we'll do one more room. I think that's a good idea.
Try this way.
Just need more healing. Now, if you don't understand how stupid that is for both the businesses and also other people, right? I will explain it to you. So, say if in the future if this channel ever blows up and I get a sponsorship or something, and I get an affiliate link that allows me to recommend a product that I genuinely do believe in or anything else, or a product that I currently use that I advise the people is really useful for them. If that ever ends up happening, essentially, when you click the link, it will send you to the page, at which point that page will be like, oh, this person's sitting there, and it basically installs a cookie on your device to say that I was the one that sent you there. So whenever you complete that sale, and if that cookie is still available on your system, say that that is there, I basically will get awarded the sale for that, basically like a salesman, right? So basically that's kind of like how that side of it works. That's how, that's how, you know, YouTubers make money in some cases with affiliate links and things, you know. And it could be something small, it could be something big or anything else as well. Now the issue with that is as a normal person, yeah, we'll do that again. There's browsers on the web or anything else as well. You think, oh yeah, you know what, so-and-so recommended this, so I think it's a good idea. You know, I want to give back to my streamer, my favorite YouTuber or whatever, and I will buy that through their affiliate link. And then you go and use Honey. Honey will overwrite their affiliate link and basically steal the sale from you. So yeah, your favorite YouTuber doesn't get a single penny anymore, even though that Honey wasn't the one that recommended them to go to that page, basically through the affiliate link, which is the affiliate program. Now you think that's scummy, and you think, oh yeah, but you know, like, I don't care about YouTubers or stuff like that, right? Here's the kicker, right? Here's a lovely kicker for you all. That affiliate link gets generated by Honey, whether there is already one or not. So if you use Honey, yeah, rather than say I went to a random website, no affiliate link involved or anything else as well, none whatsoever. Yeah, one will get generated and it will be posted by Honey, and that means Honey gets a percentage of that sale that they're not even entitled to because it had nothing to do with them in the first place. So essentially, Honey just got free money for them, not you. And the thing is, like, even you might not even get a discount code, right? It's just the fact that you click there and it's a despicable program that's been exploited because of that. Now you think like, oh yeah, like that's not bad and everything else as well, but I kind of knew like that stuff goes on.
Not yet.
And then
good enough to eat.
Also as well, what ends up happening is companies can sign up
Popped up down the chute
to all these programs and stuff.
Get out of here. Pleasure doing business.
Ooh, extra doom. Yes, please. I still got 2 more. No, I don't want to fight the boss anyway.
Fang-bearing Cerberus directs all 3 of its attentions toward the Satyr sack.
So yeah, so companies can sign up to Honey and join them as part of like the corporation side and the business side of it to basically pay them to say, don't use these discount codes. Now, if I've just told you a company is asking you to sign up to them, so the fact that certain discount codes get used or are available to the public, and you can then control that, and you thought to me straight away like I did, that that's exploitable as shit, pardon my language.
Our last exchange left much to be desired for my part, but this time we shall see.
You are spot on. You are spot on. And do you want to know why? So let's just say, for instance, right, let's just say that I'm a company, I sell some stuff on there, and I'm very anti-Honey, right, anti-Honey, and I offer any discount code, anything, doesn't matter what it is, but it's a discount code that gets applied, whether it's behind the scenes through the back end, which is what some companies do, or it's applied through just general releases and they never get deactivated for whatever it's max, right? What Honey can do is even though I have not signed up for it, because this is automatic, is Honey and its library of discount codes that get updated by the public and everything else as well, can put a discount code on there. There's one of mine that takes a portion of my sales, which they don't get anything for because they're affiliate, but I will lose money on that. Right? And this is what Honey's been doing for ages, essentially.
Picked up their scent.
Ah, yes, my dear family being of such help.
Is Honey has been basically financially blackmailing companies to sign up to using Honey. 100%. Like, it sounds stupid as a shady corporation, it's exactly what I would do. Just like, well, okay, you know, don't want to sign up to Honey, that's fine. But we're just going to allow every coupon code to be used on our site from you. There's no restrictions. Like, that's what ends up happening, right? It's like, and it's just like, good luck making money now. And yeah, I put money that's... I will put lots of money on that's exactly how Honey operates. So they don't make money from an affiliate program if you don't have one as a business. Right?
Last chance.
I put money on it. Because they basically blackmail you financially into basically becoming an affiliate with them so they get money of your sales, which they will then limit coupon codes and pocket the difference.
Let's finish this.
And that's probably just the surface level stuff that I've been able to figure out, right?
Come on.
Like, I am probably even talking about like some of the other stuff that's been going on, right? It's so despicable, it's ridiculous. And the fact that that's been even allowed and is somehow not being caught by like anti-consumer rights and corporation rights as well is like so terrible. As for like legal grounds and stuff like that, I do not know. There is probably a bunch of very scary lawyers because PayPal is the ones that own Honey. So yeah, some very scary lawyers are probably more in control of that than anything else. And I wouldn't like to fight those scary lawyers. But yeah, you need some legal standing, and I think you might need some governments to get involved in this, because it is beyond despicable, this now. Like, there was, what was it? Is it Markiplier turned around and said that, like, you don't get something for nothing kind of thing, and that's why he turned down Honey. And then you got, like, YouTubers that are basically sponsoring this stuff, not realizing that Honey is literally taking away their commissions from their affiliate links. No, it's just like, ah, there we go. That's someone who didn't read the terms and conditions again, right? As for like what will happen in the future with that, no idea. No idea. But it was just an interesting eye-opener.
You learned something at some point in all this. Let's do this again.
I'm sorry, Hades. I was distracted and still beat you.
I did it.
Yeah, I'm happy with that run. Admittedly, I was an idiot against
This can unlock a hidden
the
aspect
terrible
of my
duo.
weapons.
Although there are innumerable ways for one to die, our danger-seeking prince has come to know a sizable variety.
No.
Taken by the Styx. But yeah, I mean, it is like, and the thing is, like everyone at Honey would have known this.
That's Orpheus' singing.
Would you look at that, Hypnos? Care to repeat to me the unsolicited advice you just now offered, now that Zagreus is here?
Oh, well, it is my custom to give pointers to our visitors who come in voluntarily, because I do pick up a lot of bits and pieces talking here to everyone about, dying.
Zagreus. He told me that I ought to evade more of your attacks next time. So you just watch your back out there, because I know your secrets thanks to Hypnos here.
Great.
I love that.
I understand you have attempted to persuade our court musician to resume his craft. That is among the relatively useful tasks to which you have applied yourself of late.
I can't be completely sure, but what you said just now, I think contained some of the component pieces of a compliment?
I'm certain that your boasts and twists of words shall soon inspire him to greater acts of compositional superiority one of these days or nights.
Your methods didn't seem to do the trick.
So true. But yeah. It's all very interesting.
Orpheus, sorry to interrupt, it's just I couldn't help but notice that new ballad that you're playing there.
Technically, why not consider it a hymn, my friend, in honor of your numerous travails, prior to your current set of circumstances, which must pale in comparison to all the rigors you've endured to date.
The thing is, none of the information in your hymn is accurate. It's nonsense. I was just kidding with you, mate. I tried to make that clear. You get so lively when I tell you my tall tales, you know?
Heavens no, my friend. Your humility is matched only by your perseverance in the face of adversity. May your great deeds live on forever, much like you.
Cheers.
Oh, so good.
Prince Zagreus? I just wanted to say something. If you have a little time, I know you're really busy. I can come back.
Wait, no, now's fine, of course. What is it, Dusa? I'm not so busy, by the way, and always happy to check in. Wait, is something wrong?
No. It's just the opposite. I can't believe you helped me with the lounge. I don't think anyone has ever helped me out like you did, cleaning up after Cerberus and the new rug and the kitchen and just all of this.
It was my pleasure, really. All of us use the lounge, don't we? This house can really be a lot, but in the lounge here, things are easier a bit, I think. I'm so glad we have you watching over it.
You really mean that, Prince? But you don't know what this means to me. I'm finally caught up on work. What am I gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this extra time. I have to go and plan everything out.
I love Dusa. I think she's adorable.
I'd ask you join me for a drink, lad, but I know you've a task ahead of you, and liquor dulls the senses. Fortunately so, under most circumstances except yours. Leave me to it, will you? And I'll have one for the both of us.
Some other time, Achilles. Just checking in on you, but I'll be on my way again shortly.
I think that's the one thing I do miss about the new one, is having Dusa around, because Dusa is adorable. You know. More keys. I don't really get any keys anymore, do we?
Fair trade. Here's your nectar.
And we get more diamonds as well. Get all the songs and stuff, that'd be interesting.
Here's the catch of the day. Or night.
1 hellfish I have delivered. Ah, here we go.
Tell me something, Zagreus. Sometimes I fear. Do you hate him? I mean your father. Regardless of his intentions. It sounds as though he made your life extraordinarily difficult. All his pent-up fear and anger. You bore the brunt of it.
Do I hate him? Mother, I don't know that I hate anybody, really. The tales of him and the Olympians rending their immortal Titan parents to bits. I can't relate to how they must have felt. But I resented him for sure. And I don't know if I'll ever get over that entirely.
I understand. I think that when Hades told you he asked no forgiveness, he understood as well and meant it. Well, for all his failings, I'm thankful that he did not teach you how to hate. For your own sake, if not for his.
That's such a nice family moment.
Sometimes I think he tried.
You know?
For me? Are you quite sure? You know, this vintage must have made it all the way up from the surface to the mountains than to here. We've both had distant journeys, haven't we?
Well, I, for one, am certain this vintage here has journeyed to the right place. Please enjoy it.
Is each one slightly better than the last? Who knows? Oh yeah, I do love that sound design, the fact you can still hear him from here.
It was bound to happen, really.
Oh, it is awesome. Man, I forget how much I love this game, I really do. I like it being so well written and everything else. Let's do another gift.
Hey, now that's what I'm talking about. Thanks, boy, yo.
Skilly.
Don't forget you doing me a solid like this. Cross my heart.
No need to thank me, mate. But don't you dare forget it, or I'll attack you repeatedly and without mercy.
But yeah, I guess we'll leave it here for today then.
Riches of the damned beware. I'm coming back.
Yeah, I know I've had a bit more moaning than normal recently. Just a lot of stuff on my mind and things like that, which is why I think the new year's going to be a little bit better. We can kind of start afresh again, which I am looking forward to. So again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I wish you all a very happy new year to come. Take care.